Hello Libra, thank you for coming back if you're a returning subscriber. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy the reading. It's a general reading, so aspects of it may apply to you, or it could apply to somebody else in your life at the moment. You may see aspects of this playing out in their life. So take what resonates for you, and then just apply it in general in your life, but also just keep a lookout because it may come up in somebody else's workings, you know, their daily life as well. I have already shuffled and laid out the cards. I use the 12 houses of the zodiac, so I pick out 3 main areas and then astrological guidance to go with that, and goddess guidance as well. So straight off the bat, the general feeling I'm getting from your cards this month is that there seems to be a very strong push or urge or message, and as I said, this may apply to some of you or all of you, or in some way it may apply, but it seems to be that there is a feeling of breaking free from the life you have been living. So some sort of life change is really important for you at this time. Your cards are saying that what you're doing, does it really match your interests in life? Where have you been just doing things? Perhaps you're people pleasing, perhaps you're just robotically doing things, or perhaps you're busy with something which doesn't really match your true interests. That is coming up very strongly. You need to really examine that and follow what's close to your heart. We're at a time in the world now where this is really, really, really important. It may seem like everything that's going on is incredibly chaotic and in some ways quite negative, but you need to cut all that out and really just go inward and focus on yourself. That really is one of the primary purposes of this period that we're in currently. You need to be acting in your own best interests right now. So that is following your own personal interests and investing time and money and also respect into your own life, into your own goals, your own desires, your own passions, and really pushing yourself forward. A lot of people, especially feminine collective, tend to think that by giving and helping others and continually giving, that you actually, you kind of lose sight of yourself in all of that. And it's important that you actually adjust the scales and focus on yourself as well. But give your dreams and your heart's desires respect. So how you would respect somebody else's desires, perhaps a member of your family, how you would love and support them, you must love and support yourself. Because from that, as soon as you do that, then everything else flows from there. Everything else is created from there. It doesn't work the other way around. So from you, everything grows, everything manifests, and so on. So if you're going to be thinking like that, and it's a mindset, it's something that you have to actually develop. As soon as you start focusing on yourself, as soon as you start taking care of your own dreams and your own goals, and move towards them, then the universe moves to support you in that, and everything else sorts itself out around you. It doesn't work the other way around. So your cards this month are definitely saying that in various ways and forms. This comes down to your self-worth. It comes to your values. It comes to even your relationships are going to be affected. Your finances are going to be affected. But also your creativity and your personal flair, your individuality and your originality. All of these things are very, very, very important. And just about every single one of your cards is saying to you that you really need to focus on yourself and your own dreams and desires now. So be bold and passionate about what it is you want and take steps to address that now. So the first house that came up is the 5th house. This is the house of creativity. So it's your personal brand, your flair, your originality, your individuality, everything to do with that, your stamp. So when you put yourself out there, it's your own particular method or way of presenting yourself, the way you do things. If you are artistic, then follow that. For not everybody is artistic, but we are all creative in some way, shape, or form. So make sure that you are focusing on that. It's also the house of children. So this could be your children, or it could be children that you're associated with. Perhaps you teach children, or perhaps you have other children in your life. They could be related to somebody else that's in your life right now. So children does come up, but also, you know, having fun, activities. It could be sports related. Anything like that, any kind of activity or recreational activity, which is it lifts you up, which is fun, which is exciting, which is recreational. So in other words, it helps to build you up. It makes you feel good. It improves your self-worth. It gives you inspiration. You use your imagination. All of that is so important, and that comes up in this house as well. It's also the house of taking a risk. So this can be it can also be to do with activities like the stock exchange or the stock market, or gambling even. But it also has a risk element where you launch yourself into something and you move forward, whether it's an activity or a handcraft or some kind of creative project, whatever it is that you're busy with or you would like to do. This could be about starting your own creative business as well. This card also does cover love affairs as well. So this could be something that's happening in your life at the moment, and there are going to be issues coming up there. Okay, so the big card that's coming in to shake things up is the lunar eclipse. This is a cyclical card, so there will be something's going to manifest. It could unfold within a 6-week period or over the course of 6 months. But there will be some kind of upheaval or adjustment that is required. So this could be you changing your mindset. So it's almost like a huge perception change, or a huge attitude change, or some realization comes upon you. It could be that, or it could be that something which has been bothering you, or has been on the back burner, or has been in the back of your mind, the elements that you knew you would have to deal with at some point will now bubble over. But the speed and the movement of it will take you by surprise. So an upheaval coming in to this house. And it's your attitude and your perception of it that is going to determine the outcome here. But what the cards are saying, you've got Pele, which is divine passion. Be honest with yourself. What is your heart's true desire? So that is what this card is saying. What is your true, your true desire? What is really close to your heart at this time? And this is a fiery card. It's a volcano erupting in the background. So this is really almost like letting things go, actually pulling up what it is that you've been nurturing or harboring or wanting to do, actually pulling that out and giving it the respect that it deserves. So this is about your own particular desires. Make sure that, as I said, make sure that your true heart's desires are matching what you're currently doing in your life. Don't give your power away doing things which don't suit you anymore, or just don't match your heart's true desire. You must give respect to your own personal hopes, and dreams for yourself, and your wishes, and what it is that you're really interested in. You need to focus on that and actually really give it credence right now. And it's saying to you that you could be starting your own business. There could be something some project you really want to do, but it's to give full force to your passionate energy, to really let it run with you. It's possible that this could be children related, so it could be your children. Perhaps you're seeing this in your child or your children, and you need to assist them to launch themselves, or to launch their own particular interests, or to follow their own interests, things that are right for them. Okay, it could be that as well. But nonetheless, there is an upheaval coming, some sort of shift or change. It could be really abrupt. These things usually are, but always this is going to push you in some direction. And it could be to do with your children, but it's about creating a platform for something better. But you will go through a period where you will feel a little bit uncomfortable, because you will be pushed out of your rut, or out of this place that you've been in, which you've just been living and getting on with, but it's not really igniting your enthusiasm and your passion and it must really get you excited, what it is you want to do with your life, or what it is you want to do in this house. And if you have been suppressing that, if it's been some part of you that you've been ignoring, it won't continue with the lunar eclipse. This is definitely going to shake things up. So it'll be an attitude change or a perception. Perhaps you'll just have a sudden realization that you've really kind of been wasting your time, but or almost just not focusing on what really is your heart's true desire at this time. So it's quite a big shift within, and you can expect it to unfold, within 6 weeks or over a period of 6 months, unfolding as time goes on. But there will be an initial shift, something bubbling over, something actually coming to the surface to be released. So that's coming up for you. Then with all of these things, they tend to affect monetary, but it can also be relationships as well. 8th house, we have, this is the house of endings and beginnings. It's also the house of big finance. So this is accounting, banking, investments, insurances, tax. Tax is a big one for this house. It's also assets, things like that. And also it can be legacies. So your legacy or somebody else's legacy to you, or inheritances as well. So it's got all of that. But the 8th house is also about sexuality and everything to do with that. It's also the house of death. And this is not necessarily a physical death. This is more like a symbolic. So something ending, something passing away, and something new coming in. So the old chapter ending and a new chapter beginning. The old has to go in order to make room for new things. That's what the 8th house deals with. It also deals with birth. So you could be birthing a new idea. As I said, it's possibly coming out in your 5th house, something that you want to start, some creative project, and you're now looking at the finance for it. Or it could be something to do with a partnership or a business, something like that. You could be handling other people's resources as well. This could be within a partnership. You could also, as I say, you could be birthing something. It can be a physical birth, but that's normally handled by the 5th house. But it's normally the birth of an idea or the birth of something. It can also be about regeneration or renewal. So something that something comes back and is raised from being almost dead or burnt out or finished. Something comes back and it goes through a regeneration or a renewal. So it could be relationship based. The 8th house does rule the endings of marriages as well. So some of you may be going through that. But in some cases, it could also be that a relationship that you're in is undergoing some kind of transformation, and it could be deepening. It could be deepening, and it could be becoming much more fulfilling and gathering much more meaning. So in other words, it goes through a regeneration or a renewal, because the 8th house is often to do with the coming together in a relationship. It's the nuts and bolts of a relationship. So this can be a love partnership, and it's normally committed partnerships. This is not a love affair. This is a committed partnership. But it can also be a business partnership. So something could be shifting there, either something ending, something beginning, or something going through a regeneration and a renewal. So it's all the nuts and bolts. It's the finance. If it's a love relationship, it's the deepening of the relationship from a sexuality point of view. So it's the meaning, the real deep meaning of this relationship. That all comes in under the 8th house. But it could all be also purely financial for you as well. Perhaps you're wanting something to manifest something for yourself. And I say that because you've got the air element communicating card at the bottom, which is the card of manifestation. So because you've got Sekhmet, be strong at the top here, again, I keep coming back to this, where this is about something that you need to manifest for yourself. So this is some aspect of yourself which you haven't really given the place in your life that it should have had. Or perhaps now you're reaching a point in your life where you can start focusing on yourself, and you need to do that. And you're going to be able to speak it into existence or write it into existence. So the air element card is everything to do with communication, which is verbal, written, It can be contracts, it can be documents, it can be electronics, it can be the internet. So anything about communication. It can be messages given or received. Things that you're hearing. But it really is about manifesting and using the communication abilities to enhance this house. So it may be that you're going online to do something or to enhance something in your 8th house, and it's going to affect obviously the rest of your life as well. Or it could be to do with the nuts and bolts of your relationship, whether it's a partnership or a love relationship. But the air element card is the card of communication. So when I say speak it into existence or write it into existence, if it's something you want to write, you need to write down exactly what you expect, what you want from your life or from your relationship or from this business idea or whatever it is that you're trying to do. Or you could speak it. So it's about being really clear about what it is you want and what it is that you desire for yourself. You have to speak it into existence. There's no room in this card for negative self-speak, so self-talk or verbal utterances about what it is you want to do. This is all about positive. So if you think positive about yourself and about what you're trying to do, and then speak positive about yourself and what it is you want to do. If you do that, then you're going to call the universal energies to you to manifest what is positive in your life. Okay, so it's all about that. Air travel may come in with this card as well, or going to high places that may come in, visiting high places, maybe just for inspiration or to give you clarity, to go to a high place to give you clarity, that may come in as well. But it is everything to do with communication. It's about thinking things through, sorting things out, being logical. The air element it's a mental element, so not a lot of emotion in the decision or whatever it is that you're trying to do. This is about weighing things up and being very clear about what it is you want to manifest in your life. So it's got all of those elements, but electronics, the internet, and all forms of communication, whether it's written or verbal, will be important with this card. And also, if there is any gossip or any kind of something like that going on, just take the high road and navigate around that. At the top, you have Sekhmet, be strong. As I said, so you are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. So this card is saying to you that whatever is going down in the 8th house, whatever it is that you need to do, okay, whether it's on a relationship basis or a partnership basis or a financial basis, whatever it is that you need to do, this is saying that you are stronger than you think and that you can handle whatever needs to be done here. And don't give in to negative thinking, which is what the air element card was saying. You need to be focused and have the demeanor of victory, have the demeaning of positivity, demeanor of positivity. So if you're acting victorious and positive and you've got that air about you, again, you will draw like attracts like, so you will draw that to you. It's all about that. But don't give into negative thinking. Be positive, and focus on what it is you're doing, and have the mindset that whatever it is that you're trying to manifest for yourself is already here. It's already manifested, and that it will come to you. So have a positive outlook. And if you feel that you are sort of feeling burdened or that you're pressured in some way, then do activities which are going to build you up, build your strength up, so that you can carry yourself through any transitions that you're going through, because the 8th house is very much about that, transitions from one situation to another. So all of that may come in for you. Then here, as I said, these are all irrelated this month. We've got 2nd house owning. This is the house of ownership. It's the house of real estate. It's the house of self-worth, and it's the house of value systems. So your income is also indicated here. So however you earn your income, or however your income comes through to you, whether it is sort of from work that you do, or things that you sell, or however it is that you earn your income, the 2nd house covers that. You also have the 8th house. The two are opposite each other, so finances is definitely on the table here. But this, as I said, this is the card of value systems and ownership. So everything that you own comes in under this, everything that is a possession of yours. But it's also your view of values in your life. With the world in the state that is at the moment, everybody is looking at their what they truly value in their life. And this is what I was saying earlier about what do you really value about yourself and your goals and what it is you really want to do. What is your real passion? What really excites you? What's going to really make you happy? And that is part of your self-worth, but it's also part of your valuing. So what do you value in yourself? What do you value about your life? And really, do you need all the possessions that you have? Or what is it about your life that has the most value? For many, many people, it's their family. It's their home, it's their lifestyle, it's their happiness, it's their health. All of these things have value. So you need to decide and look at all of that and give it a really thorough look at, because it's definitely going through some sort of shift at the moment. And it's also the card of self-worth. So how is this coming up for you at the moment? Well, we're going to see now. At the bottom, you have Neptune sacrifice. So this card is about that. It has many other meanings as well. But Neptune has the energy of being really connected to the divine, or being really in tune with the universe. All right. It does have that element to it. It also has the element of being in a place where your boundaries have not been strong enough, or you haven't set boundaries about what it is, how your life has unfolded, what you are prepared to do, what you are prepared to compromise on, and so on. So your boundaries will get a review with Neptune. It's also got an element to it of almost like dreaminess, being a bit spaced out, not really grounded. Okay, so make sure that you are getting clarity on everything. You've got the air element card here, so make sure you are really clear about your self-worth, your value systems, and your income, and what it is you're trying to do in your life now. Because Neptune rules Pisces, it does have the element as well of almost like self-sabotage or self-undoing. So where in your life have you been giving your power away, or sacrificing your own loves and passions and happiness for others or for something? These are all elements that you need to look at in your life at the moment with Neptune. Neptune can also sometimes bring up uncertainty, almost like things are a little bit foggy, they're a little bit unclear, or maybe you have been in that phase now. And this is going to end. This is going to end because there are too many cards on the table which are indicating that this fogginess or being under some kind of illusion or fantasy has to end now. So any illusions, any fantasies, rose-tinted spectacles have gone. You now really need to be realistic about what it is that is what is right for you going forward in your life. At the top we have Freya, bold. Unleash your adventurous side, take risks, and be daring. Okay, so another card about focusing on your own heart's desires and your own passions, and taking a risk, which we mentioned earlier. So it's saying to you that in some place in your life, particularly in the second house, which, as I said, is to do with income, or to do with your self-worth, or to do with your values, somewhere in there, or even to do with real estate, as I said, property, land, that sort of thing. Somewhere, she's saying to you that you need to let go of restraints that you've had, and actually go on an adventure, or be adventurous with what it is you want to do, or perhaps take a risk. And this could be something that you want to plan for. Perhaps it's financially, or perhaps this is to do with making a bold move to support yourself in some way, in a passionate endeavor that you want to take up, or an interest, or a hobby, or a project. And this is saying to give you the wings to do that. And with Freya, it's bold action that is required. And I do feel it is about harnessing some aspect of yourself which really has been put on the back burner, or just hasn't really been looked at, or you've kind of made sacrifices for others and things which may have been, other people, whatever, it may have been appropriate at one point in your life, but now you really need to be looking at yourself. And, when we keep pushing down these desires, and your hopes and your own personal hopes and dreams, when they get squashed, eventually it starts to manifest in the body as some form of unhappiness or disease. So you've got to be able to keep the things in balance and focus on yourself, and make yourself happy, and then everything else flows from there. Somewhere in all of this, I did mention about children as well. You may, as I said, this may, to do with the 5th house, may be related to your own children, something coming up with that. But you've got a card here saying, Damara, guiding children. You are good at helping, counseling and healing children. Use your skills to help children now. So it may indicate that you need to sit and have a heart-to-heart talk with your own children, or with children that you're associated with. Or it could be that you can now go into an interest of yours which involves children. So whether this is teaching or looking after them or helping them in some way, it could be art, it could be creative projects, it could be a teaching project that you're busy with, something. It's saying that some of you may have this very obvious skill, or something that you really wanted to do in your life, and it's saying that you have these abilities, and that you really should be using them in some way. It could be with young people, so this could be the youth as well. Perhaps it's a youth project that you want to get involved in, something to do with that. It could also be that you need to listen to your own inner child. Perhaps your inner child has been suppressed, and this is where the 5th house also comes in, because it deals with children. It can be the inner child, but it's also your sense of fun, creativity, activities, things that really, are fun for you and happy for you to do, and full of enjoyment. And it's listening to that side, which may have been suppressed at some point in your life, or perhaps programming from your parents. Perhaps they didn't acknowledge your inner child, your own childlike playfulness. Perhaps it wasn't allowed, or it wasn't encouraged. And only you can unlock that. Nobody else can do that for you. Only you can unlock that for yourself. So listen to your inner child and give it expression, and then backing all of this up again, we have the fire element card. This is the card of desire. So again, it's talking about your desires here. This is a very quick changes coming to you with this. So I feel the lunar eclipse, this card is going to activate something, and then this is also going to back it up. So it's quick changes. This can be literally scorched earth policy, so literally clearing the decks to plant new things. This is really activating you in some way. So this is about a fire that has been lit. This is the enthusiasm, the action, the energy, the desire to achieve what it is you want. It could also be, as I said, within a relationship. It could be coming up as well, that perhaps your desire has been rekindled. Now, the desire, as I said, can be manifested in different ways. It could be sort of creative related, or it could be relationship related. But some sort of fire has been lit or will be lit, and this is going to activate you in some way. And it's almost like quick changes coming for you, and where you can really apply this energy and use it for the greater good, but use it for yourself. Use it to propel you into whatever it is that you need to do. You may have to deal with other people's egos at this time. It could be relationship, related. So you may have to deal with other people's egos or your own ego. But I feel it's about you really just saying enough, putting boundaries in and saying, this is what I need to do. This is what I really want for myself, and I'm going to put plans in motion now to support my desires, to support my interests, or whatever it is that you want to do. And this card is going to fire you up, literally. But it can be, as I said, you can be really clearing things to start new things, new beginnings, fresh beginnings, fresh starts. to move you, propel yourself forward, and give you the energy to achieve this. I've had these cards packed for a long time, but I've found them the other day and I've pulled them out, so I'm just going to do a card for you now. Draw a card for you now. These are called the Destiny cards. They're very small. This one wants to pop out. Okay. Risk. Okay, so as I said, this came up already. It came up in your Freya card. Unleash your adventurous side, take risks and be daring. And it also, the 5th house does have a risk element to it. But any passion, any kind of passion that you want to follow, whatever the passion may be, does involve commitment, intention, and some element of risk. So this is just backing up everything that's coming up in your chart. Something that you kind of need to just say, enough now, I have to do this. I've got to do it for myself, for my own personal health and well-being, and for my own happiness, and just take it on board and go with it. And I'm quite sure that you will find that the universe will leap to meet you in whatever endeavor it is that you need to do for yourself. So I hope you enjoy the reading. Please don't forget to like and share, or like and subscribe. And take care, and I will see you next time.